What's going on, everybody? All right. Now, I've told you all that I'm always honest, and I am. I'm completely honest, and anytime I have an issue with something, you guys are the first to know, and I get called out for it. People's like, oh, yeah, you should have bought this, should have bought, and I don't want anything else. First of all, if you're watching this and you own some other brand of truck, I don't want to hear it. I don't own it. Don't want to own it. But I still think Toyota is the most reliable truck out there. But I'm having a little bit of an issue, and it doesn't have anything to do with the truck mainly. You can probably tell by the title of the video, I'm having a charging tray issue, and I don't think it's really the charging tray's fault as much as it is my new phone. This is the iPhone 12 Pro Max, and I think that it's the phone's fault. And I'm gonna tell you what I think it is. I think it's this case right here, because these have they have 3 cameras on the back and a flash, and they have such a large camera area that they kind of have to push this out. I don't know if that's showing up, but you can see how the case is actually bulged out. And I think it's that's fault. So let me turn this around and show you what it's doing, because I want to show y'all what it's doing. I think I can fix it, but I want y'all to be aware of this when you get one of these and you're like, this thing's doing something stupid. I'm not changing my case because I want my camera to be protected, because I use this a lot for YouTube, a lot. And so I want that camera to be protected. I don't want those lenses to be scratched or anything like that. So I'm not going to switch cases. I really like this case. Very minimal, but a lot of security in this case. So let me get the camera turned around and show you what it's doing. Okay, so you can see my charging tray's turned on, and I set my phone in here. There we go. So now it's charging. You see it come up, and that's blue. Now, if I'm riding around, as long as I hold my hand like this, and I hold this still, it doesn't do it. But you can see right here that it slides around pretty easy. Now, with the phone that I'm using right here, this has a rubber place on this charger. And the phone that I'm using right now to do this, when I would set it in here, it didn't have this big place right here on the back that kept it up off this. This phone actually stayed where I put it. It didn't slide around. So this phone never had this problem. But when I set this one down in here, you can see it lit up blue and that's charging, but it slides around really easy. And like I said, if I hold it like this, it doesn't do it. I took off the garbage a minute ago, drove probably 5-10 miles, holding it just like this right here, just kind of wedged my fingers in beside it. It never did it. But let me take you down the road and show you what it does if you don't hold it still. Hang on just a second. All right, so I don't know how far we're gonna have to drive. We're just gonna hold it like this right here while we drive down through here, and you'll see it happen here in just a few minutes. Sorry if my audio's not great. This is a very weird position I'm in, but you'll be able to see the phone kind of sliding around through the curves right there. See it turn red. I mean, I didn't even get, I don't know, not even a quarter mile from my house, and it already did it. And then it turned back green, now it's turning red. And just sliding it back over doesn't fix it. You actually have to take it out, let it turn back green, set it back down in there. It starts charging. If you'll hold your hand right here, which I can, I have to make a curve right here, so I can't do that. But let me get to the straightaway up here and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, now that we're on a straightaway, you can see it's blue, and blue means it's charging. So as long as I hold my hand right here, we don't have any issues because it's not sliding around. Now the screen went off just because the screen timed out. But as long as that light is blue right there, it's still charging the phone. But as soon as I move my hand away and I start going through curves and it starts sliding around, it immediately turns red. I guess red means it's faulted out. I'm not sure what that means. But it like immediately turns red after it slides around, like I said, less than a quarter mile from the house. But I can drive, like I said, I drove probably 5 or 6 miles a minute ago holding it just like this, wedged in, no issues at all. And you can see we've already driven further than when I left the house, and we've not had any issues. And we won't. I could drive probably as far, I could drive across the country like this and probably not have an issue with it. But as soon as I take my hand away, let me switch hands, and I'm fixing to make a turn right here, and this thing's gonna start sliding around, you'll see it do it again. Now that curve brought it towards us, so we're not gonna see it there. But when I get into some of these curves that slide it the opposite direction, you should see it kick back. It's gonna be just a second. I've got a curve up here. Again, like I said, I always want to be transparent with you guys. I don't think this is a problem with the charger. I think it's more of a problem with the phone, the way the new iPhone is designed, the way the new camera is designed on the iPhone, and stuff like that. Just went through a curve, slid it the other way. Right there. See, as soon as it slid to the other side, it went back to charging this time, but you've seen it kicked off back to red there for just a second. And it must have just slid over just right and just disconnected a little bit or something. I don't know exactly what's causing that. Now, the phone I'm holding, if I pushed it all the way over to this side too, it didn't charge as well. The batteries on the iPhone, I believe, are on the right-hand side. You see it just kick off and it kick back on. It's this phone. When it slides back to this side, it shouldn't do it, because I think the batteries are on the right-hand side, and that kind of puts the battery directly over the charger. But when the phone slides to the right-hand side of the charger, which puts the left-hand side of the phone over the charging portion, that's when you have a problem. I think I've got another curve coming up here to the right, which should slide it. There we go. I don't know if that'll pop it off or not. Normally that's what, there it is. See, as soon as it slides over to the right, comes back to the left, we're good. Now again, like I said, I fully believe it has to do with this raised spot, if I can get it right here around the camera. That allows that phone, I believe, to set up higher and slide around, and doesn't allow that rubber piece to catch the bottom of it to hold it in place. So I don't believe it's a problem with the charger. I believe it's a problem with the phone. I may be able to get some kind of like shelf liner or something like that to put in this, or at least where that camera part's at. I don't know if I want to lift that camera part up any higher. Maybe I can put it right beside the camera part to keep it from sliding around, and that will probably fix it, because as soon as I make it where it can't slide, it's going to keep charging as we've seen. I just need to keep it to the right hand side. And that's a tip. If you have an iPhone, I found out that this charger actually works a little bit better if you slide the phone over to the left hand side of the console. That way it puts the battery more in line with the charging portion of the wireless charger. So I've not fully figured out the best way to fix this and make it look good. But I'm gonna have to try something, because it does slide around a little bit. And like I said, the phone I'm using right now to shoot this on did not do that, because it didn't have this raised portion right here. So if you're getting an iPhone 12, I'm assuming all the 12s probably has this great big back. The 11s might have it. This is a 10 or XS Max that I'm using right now. So when I went to the 12, it had all the extra cameras. So if you have an iPhone with extra cameras, you probably have like a raised spot to protect those, and you may run into this issue. And as soon as I figured out, or as soon as I figure out, not figured, I'm having a hard time talking today. As soon as I figure out a solution that looks decent, that doesn't just look horrible in your console here, I'll let you guys know. If you have any ideas, leave them in the comments section. You all can probably come up with something better than I can if I was guessing, and I'll try it and see what it looks like. And as long as it looks good in here and it doesn't look horrible, I may go ahead and use it. But I wanted to make y'all aware of that, just in case you're seeing that and you're thinking your charger might have something wrong with it or something. I don't believe it's the charger. I believe it's the phone case. I appreciate y'all watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you next time.